Hi there and welcome to Chalk Session. I am your host, Brian Griffiths. This is the show here at the Duck Pin where we analyze and review and critique political campaign ads. So join us on this week's show. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's take a look at this week's ad. On this week's episode of Chalk Session, we're going to take a look at Kelly Schulz's first TV ad for this gubernatorial race. It's called Parental Rights, very straightforward. It's going to talk about schools, talk about education. So let's sit back, let's review this ad, Kelly Schulz, Parental Rights.
I'm Kelly Schulz. I've been a legislator, a member of Governor Hogan's cabinet, and I ran a small business.
I love the fact that the first thing out of the gate here, it's not fancy, it's not anything, overly dramatic. It's here's who I am and here's what I've done. And when you're talking about, Kelly Schulz has never run for, statewide office before. So it's a nice way to introduce herself to the people who are watching this and introduce yourself to the people of Maryland.
And today, while I might be running for governor, I'm still a mom. So I know what it's like to worry. It's why I introduced a parental bill of rights, providing real school choice, record funding, and accountability.
Yeah, it's amazing how people were, like Kelly, were for parental rights in education before a lot of people were even aware or thought of parental rights in education.
With education transparency. And of course, schools have to be open and masks off. Which
of course is where most of Maryland is now that the mask mandate has been lifted.
As your governor, I'll fight for our children, all of them.
That is such a great ad. It is such a fantastic ad. We're going to be right back. We will go ahead and review this ad. You can already kind of tell where I'm going with this. Stick with us. Let's go ahead and review the ad. Okay, why don't we go ahead and we will now evaluate this ad, Kelly Schulz, Parental Rights. Well, the first thing I loved about this ad, I mentioned this during the review, and that's the fact that we've got this bio piece in there. As I said, not everybody knows who Kelly Schulz is. Not everybody knows her story. And getting that in there in the first 5 seconds, think about that. Think about how this commercial was laid out. We've got 5 seconds, give or take, of who I am. And then we talk about the issue for 20 seconds, the issues particularly as it relates to parental rights, but also the masks, which has been kind of important over the last couple of years. And then, finishing it off at the end. You talk about this great 525 structure. 5 seconds of intro, 20 seconds of substance, and then 5 seconds for a close. This is why people hire professionals, okay? And I'm not just, tooting up the horns of people who are some of my friends, but it's true. This is why you hire competent people to do stuff for you. You don't just outsource it necessarily to, your neighbor or your kid or somebody else. If you're going to run a serious campaign, you have to make sure that the people who are helping you know what they are doing, and it is very clear that Kelly Schulz has good people, quality people running this campaign. As I mentioned, the issue, you just stick to the issue. It's not a multiple focus thing. So many times candidates in their campaigns want to throw the kitchen sink in an ad. I'm for schools and I'm for against guns and I'm this and I'm that. No, this is one issue. This is the issue that is going to define Kelly Schulz in the eyes of many voters, and she's on the TV about it before anything else. I know that some of Dan Cox's ardent supporters are going to piss and moan about it, but it's true. She was out there in front of this in the General Assembly before anybody else was, and she is out there on the campaign trail talking about this before anybody else is. And that is an incredible piece of branding there. And the other thing I really liked about this was consistent. A lot of commercials are jumping back and forth. They're doing this, they're doing that. And this is just a headshot of Kelly Schulz talking about the issues. It's not meant to be a visual stunner. It is meant to be consistent, effective, and concise, which is exactly what it is. It is also why, when we look at the bad things about this, I can't find a single thing wrong with this. I know that it's been rare for me not to be able to find things that are wrong with certain campaign commercials, but this is one of them And I really think that they did a hell of a job in putting this together. I give this ad, unsurprisingly, an A.
That's all the time we have on this episode of Chalk Session. Again, be sure to follow us on social media. And if you have an ad that you want us to analyze in one of these Chalk Session videos, please feel free to email us at theduckpin@gmail.com. For all of us here at the Duck Pin, thanks, and we'll see you next time.